What's up, guys? New video today on Bitcoin. We, over the past several weeks, we've talked about losing this log chart and then the sell-off, and then we talked about, these crazy evaluations of 1100, 1800, and, just what the price action would do for Bitcoin. And now we've gotten to a point where I actually talked about before where we would perhaps, find support at the 200 week, retest this uh, log channel, and start continuing down again. And I think we're right here again. So we're going to talk a little more about that. Quick disclaimer, please do not take this as financial advice. Do your own due diligence. Past performance is not an indicator of future performance, so make sure you research. I'm not a financial advisor, simply, speaking my mind and giving you my 2 cents on what I'm seeing in the market. Whether it's right or wrong, I'm giving you the data. The data's the price action, the charts, and I'm hoping it helps one way or the other. Anyways, so as we've talked about many times on this channel, we were moving in the 7-year channel. We lost it, and I think that was the sign to kind of exit Bitcoin right here. So I think what's happening right now is we are getting this retest because we found support at the 200 week, right? Found it right here at the bottom of the log scale. Don't forget, we also found support right here around the log scale as well. But then we lost the log scale, dipped 50%. Boom, found support here. Started this relief rally with, I knew we'd test the log, this support channel, but at the same time, I was unsure if we would. It was because this log, this resistance point at the bottom of the log channel, it gets exponentially higher each week. So I was like, man, are we really going to retest a log by, reaching a higher price? I thought that would be kind of hard to do, but this is textbook what we saw right here. We lost a trend, we retested the trend, and I think a lot of people now, especially at 9100, I think a lot of people are going to be very bullish, very long, and they just want long the corn all the way back to 100,000. I think there's a lot of inflation talk, there's a lot of money printing going on, and I share a very different opinion from mainstream on what is going on in the world. I believe that we're in a deflationary crisis, not an inflationary crisis yet. I do believe in hyperinflation. I do think that everything will eventually be inflated away, but I do think that we are some time away from that. And that kind of plays into my perspective on the way I view Bitcoin. If we're going to go through a deflationary cycle, I do believe that Bitcoin will sell off. I do believe also that when Bitcoin lost this log channel, the only way for it to be bullish again, in my opinion, was for it to reclaim the log channel, kind of like it did here. It had a couple quick wicks. It had, it had a wick right here, quickly went in. It had a wick right under, for a bit, then it quickly found support again, and then, it had a wick right here, found support, little wicks under, found support, had big bounces up. But then we actually lost this log channel, and we sold 50%. So I think this channel is very important for that reason. You could kind of see it in the price action that the price refused to go down, and the one time it did, it sold off 50%. Now, to think that it would just kind of jump back in here and just make a really explosive move, maybe to like 14. I mean, I think if it gets back over this level, then you have to start thinking like maybe this is going straight to 20,000, or even higher. But I'm very, very pessimistic as long as we stay under this log channel, and especially where we're at right now in this moment leading up to the halving. So many people are bullish now. I think every person that was short before is extremely bullish now. But check this out. We've hit this, resistance line right here, which was pretty significant. We had bounce right there. We had a huge bounce right there. Found a little support. Huge bounce down right there. And I think we're right here again. So that horizontal line, we have this trend from 20,000 going all the way down. We pretty much hit that line, and we're retesting the bottom support, the bottom resistance line of this log channel. So it's really, really difficult for me to be bullish as long as we stay under this point, which is why I took the time to really open up shorts right here at this point. If you watched some of my more recent videos, I had been shorting from like 68, 69 all the way to like 77. So I took quite a loss there. I finally just kind of sat on the sidelines and watched for a bit, figuring out what to do. And then I started adding to my short again at 85, and I actually deposited a nice chunk of change to place some shorts here, right at this line. I'm very, 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 very confident that we're going to start going down from here. How far down? I'm not too sure. Because the way I see it is, if Bitcoin's really bullish and this thing is for real, and we're going to 30,000, 40,000, then I want to see it just kind of blow right past here, go straight to like 13K. I just want to see a very, very explosive move through this confluence of resistance and get through it. If not, as I mentioned when we first lost this log scale, I think I even drew like with a red line, with a red marker, the course of action I'd expect Bitcoin to take. I was expecting it to really rise up going into the halving and get close to retesting this channel, and it pretty much did. And now that we're here, I think, I'm looking at the sentiment and how everyone's feeling. I mean, I would just have to think that this is an amazing opportunity to really suck in some longs before just absolutely falling. Let's see. Yeah, I think the target's still under 2K. I think, macro-wise, we are quite bearish. If we could break over this gray line, maybe I'll change my stance slightly, but for me, it's more so getting back into that log channel. Like, get back into that log channel. If it decides to take a course of action where it's falling and then it kind of moves just below this log channel, I would assume this becomes increasingly bullish if we just kind of hover like this. Because when you continuously tap on the door of a resistance line, you eventually break it. And the same goes for support. You tap on it enough, you eventually break it, right? So there's a lot of different scenarios that could happen. Right now, I'm kind of sold on the fact that unless we can get back into this log scale and have a nice big move here and show us that, hey, you know, this sell-off right here was just an absolutely spectacular shakeout. One of the best shakeouts Bitcoin's ever had right here, dropping from 10 to 3.5, you know, losing 60%, 50, 60%. That's quite the shakeout, especially, you know, going from 13 to, you know, 3, 8, pretty much giving up and negating all the gains right here. I mean, that could be an amazing shakeout, and that's kind of something we see. We technically are seeing higher highs and higher lows. This was the low, this was the high, this was the higher low, and now, you know, if we could set another higher high, and I think the key to that is really breaking into here, then yeah, we can talk about sometime next year being up here at like 281,000. I'd gladly do that, but I'll also gladly buy Bitcoin if it's at 1,000, you know, under 2,000 when no one believes in it. You know, a lot of people have lost hope, and you know, that's really it for today, guys. I really wanted to talk about this point that we're at. I think it's very critical. I think if you're really thinking of planning on going long, I mean, there has to be some kind of pullback, but if you want to buy here, you might, you know, good luck. Um, I've been wrong, you know, like I've been thinking that we'd start kind of selling. I thought we would kind of go a little sideways and then kind of shoot up towards halving or, you know, post halving. So yeah, that's really it today, guys. I hope you guys have a good one. Safe trading. If you're long Bitcoin, I don't think you go wrong. The fundamentals are set to, you know, really thrive in certain environments, and I think those certain environments are something we'll encounter in the future. So yeah, guys, happy trading. Good luck. Stay safe and have a good week.